Hi there, and welcome to Limitlyss with your host, Alyssa Simpson. That's me! I am a mindset and manifestation coach, but you can just call me your personal giggling goddess of manifestation. I use my woo-adjacent approach to turn women into the poster children for lucky girl syndrome. And since you've tuned in today, I have a feeling you're ready to become a poster child real soon too. So now that you're here, it's time to sit back, relax, and learn how to become limitless. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Limitlyss. I hope that you're doing amazing. We are rolling right on into February, y'all. What the hell? Every time I think of like, oh my God, it's a new year and it's already February, or like, oh my God, it's already Tuesday, or whatever the hell it is that we say to each other whenever time just feels like it's moving so fast, I'm just reminded that time isn't real. And how many times have you and I talked about this? A lot. We've said it a lot. I've said time isn't real so many times, but we didn't come here today to talk about time. We're saving that for a much different day, a much different conversation. We are here to talk about the art of receiving, okay? Now that we have rolled through into a new month, we are starting a new month. We are here to live and thrive and be abundant and all of the beautiful things. We're going to also include receiving in there because we can touch on every single other crucial component of becoming a master manifester. But if we leave out the art of receiving, none of it's going to ever come to fruition in a beautiful way, right? So luckily for you, you're here today to soak up the goodness that is receiving, because it is an art form, okay? It is an art form. And like a lot of other things in society, we have kind of had the art of receiving beat out of us in the sense to where, you know what, it's really not that important. It's greedy for you to receive. It's polite for you to decline. And those things are, number one, outdated. Number two, come from lack and scarcity. And number three, after listening to this episode and soaking in this message, are no longer going to be part of you moving forward. How great, right? Before we dive in to the art of receiving, I wanted to let you know that starting next month in March, I am hosting an Activated Abundance Challenge series, however you want to call it, and it is going to be on Instagram. So make sure that you are following along, you are getting notifications turned on for every day whenever I am dropping a new challenge for each day of the month. The idea of this challenge is to truly activate the abundance that is within you, because let's be honest, we are not going into another year searching and shaking our fists of abundance. We are going to be co-creating with abundance. We're going to have so much abundance pouring out of our pores that it is contagious, and we are just going to make spring, March, moving forward into quarter two, abundant as fuck. And so you aren't going to want to miss this. I promise. So if you do anything today, number one, it's listen to this episode in its entirety. And number two, make sure you are ready and excited with me over on Instagram at _Alyssa Simpson X. You can also check out the show notes to make sure that you are following me along. And without further ado, let's get into receiving. So, like I said before, receiving is something that society has kind of taught us to be not as welcoming of. Whenever someone compliments you, it's the first thing you say is, oh my gosh, this old thing, it was only $12 at the bin at Goodwill, or thanks for telling me how beautiful you think my eyes are. It's because my mom had this same color eyes. Or there's always something that has to get thrown in with compliments, especially if you're out to dinner or lunch or coffee and someone offers to pay. It's almost like you are taught to have this knee-jerk reaction of, arguing with them instead of just accepting and receiving and showing gratitude for it. And when you have these types of responses of either wanting to argue with someone about who's going to pick up the lunch bill or the coffee bill, or when you're having to defend something nice that you have by, oh, this old thing, or oh, it was on discount, or oh my gosh, whatever the hell you're doing other than just simply receiving, that all stems from lack at the end of the day. And remember, lack and abundance cannot exist together. They can't. They simply can't. Physically, energetically, spiritually, lack and abundance do not go hand in hand. They are, quite frankly, like positives and negatives of a magnet. And when you try to put a positive, what is it? No, I'm saying this wrong, but you know what I'm talking about. Whenever you have two magnets that are, you can feel them forcing against each other. What is that? Are they both the same? Like two positives, two negatives, opposites? I don't know. Whatever it is, that is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about lack and abundance cannot exist in the same space. Scarcity and abundance cannot live in the same space. They cannot go together. So when you are choosing to do anything other than simply receive, you are blocking out abundance. And even though you might think, but it's being polite, or it's how everyone operates, or this is just something that I've always done and I enjoy it. Well, today's the day where you stop. It's not serving you in any way. And honestly, if you are the other person who, let's say you genuinely compliment someone and they start giving you all these excuses as to why your compliment, like, I don't know, shouldn't have landed on them, don't you feel like, well, fuck, I shouldn't have said anything to you? Like, well, damn, I take it back. I did think your hair was cute today, but now I don't necessarily think so, because you made me feel weird about talking about all this other shit about your hair or your outfit or your jewelry or your singing voice or whatever the hell it is complimented, and you're going to backtrack it all. Then I think I'm going to save my compliments for someone else who's more open to receiving, right? Same thing, if you take someone out to lunch and you genuinely want to pay for their lunch as like just an act of being of service, and it's an argument, or it's like a fucking battle of who can put their card in the little checkbook quicker, like, it's annoying. It's like, damn, okay, well then I don't know if I want to have lunch with you if it's going to be this weird battle every time, or if you aren't going to just accept my gift of paying for your lunch or your coffee or whatever the hell. In the same breath, if you are giving compliments and offering to pay for things out of lack and scarcity, because of the law of attraction, you will continue to attract that. So if you go out to lunch with someone and you are thinking, you know, I remember when Alyssa talked about on her podcast that having a giving heart and donating and offering up 10% of my income every month because of the 10-10-10 rule, I should be offering up this money for lunch because Alyssa said that this is what's going to make me a master manifester. Doing it from lack, you're going to continue to draw in lack. And you doing it from an place of expecting something in return is from lack and scarcity. When you give, when you try to provide for others, if it does not come from a place of service, that is not coming from a place of abundance. That is not coming from a place of there is enough to go around. That's coming from a place of, well, what do I get out of this? And that is also lack and scarcity. Something that I am very consistent with is my mindset work. And over the past 6 or 7 months, something that I have incorporated that I am really loving is doing morning subliminal messages. When I do my subliminal messages, I am also journaling or writing down my gratitude list for the day, or really just sitting and soaking it all in. And oftentimes I get asked, Alyssa, like, what subliminal messages do you listen to? And I actually create my own in a way that is not your typical subliminal message. So majority of people understand subliminal messages as things that your subconscious mind can understand, but your conscious mind cannot. And I am a very firm believer in, if there is something that I am working on, if there's a limiting belief that I'm trying to rewire, I need both my conscious mind and my subconscious mind to understand that we are rewiring that limiting belief. So I listen to subliminals that are actually blended in with affirmations, if you will, and just things that I am truly trying to get my both conscious mind and subconscious mind on board with. So my subliminal messages are a blend of subliminal music plus guided affirmations on top. And what I have learned is when I can personalize my own subliminal messages and really use them for the season that I'm in, I am able to see actual real change for myself. And something that I love to do is share with you the things that I find that actually truly work. And with that being said, I have created a beautiful subliminal affirmation guided recording for you that is complimentary. You can have it for free, but there is a little bit of a trade off here. You can have this guided subliminal message for free if you leave a review on this podcast episode, screenshot the review that you have left and send it to me via email or via Instagram DM. However you want to get the review to me is perfectly fine. And when you submit that review to me via a screenshot, you will receive an email for the guided subliminal message. This is something that's going to be really great to kickstart the year for you. It's something that I really enjoyed creating. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of growth. There is a lot of inspiration inside of this recording, and it's yours for free. You just got to leave me a review and send me the screenshot. Let's get back to the episode. So now that we've kind of shown the picture of what lack and scarcity is, now we are going to talk about how to really be in the art of receiving. And before we even get into it, I have to point out something that I was recently made aware of, that not necessarily that I was doing, but a client of mine was doing. And when her and I dove into this, it was clear as day. I was like, this is an issue of you not being open to receiving. And because it's such an obvious thing to me, and because whenever I had this aha moment with it, I knew I had to share it with you all. Okay, so if you spend money on something nice, right? Like a nice top or a nice nail polish or a nice hair product, right? And you don't ever use it because you're like, I don't know. I don't think I can wear this nice of an outfit today. I don't think I can paint my nails with this, luxury nail polish. I don't think that I should be using this product on my hair every day because when it runs out, that means I have to buy more. You are literally giving signs to the universe that there is not enough to go around. This is a mentality of hardship. This is a mentality of lack and poverty, because at the end of the day, when you have something that's nice or when you have something that's a luxury item, you not using it is you throwing up a sign to the universe saying that you don't feel worthy enough to use the thing and that you don't think that there's an infinite amount of it. When we're talking about money, if you are gifted a large amount of money and you white knuckle it and you save it for a rainy day, you are telling the universe that you don't believe that there's more out there, that you don't think that you are powerful enough and capable enough and abundant enough to have this money come back to you tenfold when you spend it. This is not me saying to have bad financial hygiene and to piss your money away or to be so uncomfortable with having an abundance of money that you find any and every opportunity to spend your money. This is me simply saying how you feel about the things that you have, the money that you have, the luxury items that you have does directly contribute to your ability to attract and receive more or less, right? If you were to drive a luxury car, are you only going to drive it when it's sunny and nice out? What if it's your only vehicle and you're like, oh, I spent all this money on this car and it's a luxury car and there's a chance of rain today and I don't think I should drive my car in the rain. Why? Because if something happens it can't be fixed, or if something happens, you can't get another one. Like, that type of mentality is you telling the universe that you don't believe that you're A, good enough, or B, that there is enough to go around. Now, I have my mother's wedding ring, and it is so unique and so pretty. And March of last year, I went to Tampa, Florida for a retreat with my mindset coach, and my current wedding ring and engagement ring set, they had to get resized because I had lost some weight and they just kept slipping off my hands. And so whenever I took it in, they told me it would be about like 4 to 6 weeks before I would have them back. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wear my mom's wedding band and set. Don't have any other excuse to ever wear it, because I really do love my wedding band and set. And when I put it on, I felt like, oh my gosh, like, it's so fun that I get to wear this. Like, I think it's so pretty. And there are a lot more diamonds in that one than there are in my wedding band. It is a lot bulkier, and I would say, like, not bougie, but it's a pretty prominent piece of jewelry that simply I don't really wear a lot of jewelry like that. So wearing it, I thought, like, oh my gosh, am I gonna feel like should I not be wearing this? And no, I wore it, and I had so much fun. When people would compliment it, I'd be like, oh, it's my mom's, like, this was her wedding band, and she actually got it for their 25th wedding anniversary, and this was her upgraded one, and I had so much fun wearing it. And ever since then, it's been almost a year since then, it's sat in its little case, not being worn, but not out of the feeling that I'm unable to wear it because there's like a worthiness thing, or like I'm afraid something's going to happen to it. It's just simply that it's not my wedding band, and it was just something fun to wear in replace of my wedding band getting resized. So things like that, that's a totally different energy behind not wearing it, right? That's a totally different energy than me being like, I have my mom's wedding ring and I'm never going to take it out of this box because if something happens to this, oh my God. And yeah, there's sentimental value behind it. But at the end of the day, let's say a tornado comes and blows through my house and the only thing it takes is that wedding ring. Yeah, it's going to suck that I don't have it anymore, but at the end of the day, I could go get another one. I could go get another one and pretend that it's my mom's, or I could just have the memory of it, right? So this isn't me telling you that the things that are sentimental to you, those are the things that kind of like you do put on a shelf and you do keep somewhere safe and nice because you don't want anything to happen to that. That's totally different than you going and buying a luxury lipstick and never wearing it because you're like, I don't deserve to wear this luxury lipstick. Or if I run out, then fuck, I'm never going to be able to have more. There's a difference. So being really aware of the energy you have behind not wearing something, or not buying something for yourself, or not using the nice dishware, or not buying the organic fruit and vegetables at the store, or not splurging and getting the gourmet cupcakes instead of the boxed ones, or what the hell ever. There's enough to go around. If you have something once, you can have it again. There isn't a limited supply on anything in abundance in this world, okay? Especially money. When we're talking about money and we white knuckle our money, that is the quickest and easiest way to repel more of it from coming to you. Because why? We're telling the universe that we don't think there's more, that we're worthy of having what it is that we have. So, if you knew that there was enough to be able to replace anything, or to be able to come back to you tenfold, would you use that thing today? Like the lipstick, or the nice dishware, or the blouse, or the dress, or the shoes, or whatever. Would you use it if you felt that you were special enough and today was special enough? Because that's the other thing that we do, is we tell ourselves, well, it's just a normal Tuesday. Why? I don't need to wear this nice dress or these nice jewelry or paint my nails this nice color because it's just a Tuesday. And Wednesday you could be dead. The next 24 hours you could be dead, or be unable to dress yourself, or, put nail polish on, or God forbid you lose both your hands and your feet, and well, what are you going to paint then? You know what I mean? So today, again, is the only time that's real. Right now is the only time that actually exists, and you denying yourself from enjoying life's little luxuries today is you putting up a barricade to receiving more. Another piece that was made aware to me whenever I was having a conversation with this client about being open to receiving is feeling like you're taking more than your fair share. Raise your hand if you have felt that by you taking 2 samples off of the sample tray at Costco was you taking more than your fair share. Instead of just the one, you took the 2, and it's like, oh God, I know I shouldn't, but it's so good, I have to have another one. Did you feel guilty? Did you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not allowing someone else to enjoy this cute little Costco treat? Or do you feel that earning $10,000 a month is your plateau for earning? Because if you earn any more, that means someone else is going to go without. There's an infinite amount. You are allowed to have any and everything. And other people are also still allowed to have any and everything. And other people are also still allowed to be powerful enough to manifest those things into their lives, regardless of what the fuck you're doing and what you're receiving and what you're allowing to come into your energy and your space. A lot of people think that being rich isn't fair. What does that even mean? What does that mean that being rich isn't fair? Or that it's the top 1%ers of the world who should make it their responsibility to fix every other problem in the world? Like, why is that a mentality? Number one, it's a mentality because how successful would society be if we all tapped into our inner abundance and were filthy fucking rich? Society would probably crumble because its whole design is being based off of society being the powerful, ever almighty ruler of what goes and what gets said and what's allowed and what's not allowed and what's divvied out to the masses, when the reality is you and I have all the power, okay? And just because one person is rich doesn't mean that another person can't also be rich, okay? Poverty thinking is thinking that there is not enough to go around, okay? It says to life that you are choosing to live in poverty when you have that kind of mindset. And because of free will and because the universe allows you to act and be and do however in this lifetime, you can stay in poverty all you want, while other people around you choose to believe that there is plenty to go around. And the argument that I hear most often is, well, if that's true, then how come people are living in war zones? And how come people are living without clean water and living without, basic needs? And honestly, if that is something you're passionate about, you choosing to not become rich is a disservice to these people that you're concerned about. Because guess what? If you're rich and you become a wealthy 1%er, you could be a part of the solution to the problem that you have such an issue with, okay? You also were not born and put on this earth to solve every single problem. Your journey is your specific journey than someone else's. And I can't speak for people who live in war zones, or people who live without water, who live without, food, or whatever the case, because that's not my reality. I don't know what that's like. I can't speak on it. I can't say or do anything about it right now in this moment, because that's not my reality. And oftentimes people hear that and they think, oh my God, that's so selfish and blah. Like, okay, I don't believe that it's selfish. I believe that I'm here on this earth during this lifetime, during my specific lifetime, to experience things different than you, to experience different things than other people. And if I'm going to be so consumed with what's going on with everyone else, then I don't get to live my life. Okay, so there's my 2 cents on that. You are not responsible for others at the end of the day. You're not even your kids, not your spouse, not your siblings, not your parents, not your best friend. You're responsible for you. Even though that might sound harsh, it's the truth. You're responsible for you. And If you don't know this, you cannot manifest anything for others either. You can sit here and wish and hope and pray and try to manifest for these things for other people, but you can't because of free will. You cannot be responsible for others. You cannot save others. And that's why it is so important to focus on you and yours, to make sure that you are solid in you and yours. And if you have a desire to change the world, then you can change the world once you have been so solidified in you and yours. So when you are open to receiving, and when you have really allowed yourself to live in abundance, and when you have really decided for yourself that you're going to live in abundance, that's step one. Step two is noticing things about you that are keeping you from being open to receiving. Practicing the art of receiving means putting yourself in those positions where you're going out to lunch with someone and they offer to pay, and you simply just saying thank you. You don't have to reply with, I got us next time, or no, let me pay. A simple thank you is fine. And you go out to lunch with that same person a month from now and they offer again. Well, it could be one of those conversations where, remember you got it last time, let me get it this time. And if they throw a fit again, let them throw a fit, let them pay, let them spoil you. It's totally fine. It's totally safe. You are okay to receive. And it is okay to allow a friend, a family member, a stranger even, provide for you. It's okay. It is perfectly fine. Putting yourself in the shoes and the position of being able to gift to others is another way of mastering the art of receiving. If you are in line at a coffee shop, pay for the person behind you. If you're walking down the street and there's parking meters, put some coins in those parking meters. Why not? If you are in a bookstore, take that $5 bill out of your wallet and put it in a random book. It doesn't have to be necessarily like you always doing for your friends and family or for people that you know. It can be for strangers too. And when you are in this energy of there's enough to go around and you start being very generous with your income, with your time, with your energy, then the universe follows suit and knowing like, hey, they totally get that this is an infinite universe and that abundance is all around them. So let me also follow suit and show them just how true that is. Okay? Being open to receiving is so much more about looking at where you're blocking gifts from coming to you and then having the total and absolute clarity of, wow, now I know where one of my blocks is. Now I know how I can rewire that block. Now I know how I can pick up that block and move it and keep it from getting in my way again, while also living in an abundant mindset and an abundant energy by giving and gifting with ease. So that is your homework for the week, okay? So number one, make sure we are together on Instagram so you can be part of the March Activating Abundance Challenge. And let's gift this week. Let's find ways to be creative in gifting so that we can put ourselves in the energy of receiving from this infinite universe. And I will see you next week. Bye! Thank you for tuning in today. Your support is so appreciated, and I would love to hear your feedback on this episode. Make sure to leave a review, and when you screenshot this and share it with your friends, that you're tagging me on Instagram at _Alyssa Simpson X. I'll see you next week. Bye!